Most trailers are built for sunny weekends at 70 degrees, but what about the rest of the year? What about freezing winters, muddy spring thaws, and blistering summer heat? That's where the Peak Mtn Camp X30 changes everything. This isn't just a trailer, it's a home on wheels, engineered from the ground up for full-time living, no matter what nature throws your way. In this video, we're going to show you how the X30 sets a new standard for durability, comfort, and real-world adventure. Stick with me, we're about to see why this might be the toughest and most livable trailer ever built. All right, guys, let's hurry and go through this camp real quick. Hopefully the audio's good. It's windy. There's a storm brewing, and this is my favorite time of year. The leaves are starting to change. The temperatures are dropping. You can really make use of the wood stove in these. I was sent a drone to help capture some of our product and stuff. The Snapton drone. It's been a great little product, but I took it up on the mountain and got some footage of some of the colors and stuff up there. I love it. This is my favorite time of year to camp, to be able to use that wood stove, to just go out, and really I have any pick of camping spots on the mountain. So I love that, because these trailers that's what they're made for. They're made for that nasty weather. They're made for good weather. They're made for everything. You're not confined by what it's doing outside. So some of the best time, winter, fall, all those things, I love it. So anyways, we're gonna go through this one real quick. Some of the special features on this one. This is an X30, so 24-foot box, but you can see they added this angle iron to the bottom here. That's going to be for skirting. This one's going to be stationary, I would say a vast majority of the time. This gentleman set it up to where he's going to be living in it, probably working out of it, doing some different things, and so he wanted that skirting added, which will make a big difference. Now let me tell you, the way that these are constructed, there's 6 inches of R19 in the floor and another 6 inches of R19 in the ceiling, and then the walls are 2.5 inches thick with foam board in them. So whether you skirt them or not, they're going to stay warm and they're going to retain that temperature. But it definitely doesn't hurt to have skirting if you are in some of those colder climates. We've got customers in Fairbanks, Alaska, and just some nasty areas that they're staying in them full time. So that was kind of a nice feature. As I mentioned, 24-foot box, 30 foot from the bumper to the tongue. That's what gives you the identification as an X30 camp. You have your storage up front. Walk around this side. So this opens up. This is all storage to where you can keep tire chocks, anything that you don't care if it gets in the elements up in there. Good use of space. 2 7-gallon 30-pound propane tanks. 2 5/16 coupler with the adjustable coupler on it. That's rated at 21,000 pounds. Maybe while I'm talking about weight, I'll mention this one is going to weigh in right at 11,000 pounds. So, and it is rated to, let's see, 14,400 pounds. So lots of ability to carry a lot of gear. So work down the side, you've got your outside shower. It's just got a spray port with a quick connect on it. And then this, you got your wood box. This feeds all the way through to the inside, so you can keep all your wood storage, everything in there. You can load it up from the outside. You don't have to worry about tracking dirt and stuff through your trailer. Just load it up. Once you're on the inside, you can get to it. Fresh air intake. I don't know if you can see, but it's got a screen in there. Probably not going to pick it up on the camera. There is a screen in there to keep insects and stuff out. That's where all the fresh air for the wood burning stove comes from. So it pulls all the air from the outside, so you're not depleting your oxygen storage on the inside. 16-inch wheels, 8 lug. These are 14-ply tires. And you do have your spare under there as well. 6-gallon water heater. And then this one, because of the configuration, you'll see as we go on the inside, has some big storage doors. These are winterization valves right there that you see. So big storage there, and then another big storage door here as well. So tons and tons of storage space on the exterior here. These are adjustable latches. They've got a double sill and they're lockable, so they are keyed. 200-watt solar panels. That's standard on all of our camps. That's going to help keep those batteries topped off to help you from depleting them and damaging those batteries. So set up for Starlink. This is just an RJ45 connector in there, so you can hook up your Starlink or any other internet sources. Most of them are going to be compatible with that. You have a coax port for an antenna if you wanted to do just an antenna. And then here in the back, you have your freshwater tank, and it's heated. All your pumps, all your antifreeze lines, everything's in there, and then lots of storage in there as well. 2-inch receiver, that's wired for brakes, lights, all of that stuff if you are pulling doubles or allowed to. If not, bike racks, generator racks, anything like that works really well in here. All DOT approved, so you have all your DOT compliant lights. You have, this one's got a backup light, so when you throw the truck in reverse, that'll light up, shine, do everything you need to do in the back. It does have lights all around the exterior too that are on switches, so they can light up the exterior. You got your city water, your freshwater fill, and then you've got your battery bank in here. So he's got 6-volt batteries in here, your solar controller, battery disconnect, and then more storage. So another big storage area in here as well. So as we go on the inside, you'll kind of see why the outside storage lays out the way that it does. But overall, I think you're going to be happy. As you notice on this side too, no windows on this side. So a lot of that is to retain temperature. A lot of your temperature loss is going to be from your windows. You've got your 30 amp service cord. So that's a 25-foot long cord. So wherever you're at, you can plug in, do what you need to do. 30,000 BTU furnace, and then these are fridge vents. And this is your exhaust vent for a washer and dryer that's in this one. So this does have the heated tanks. So your tanks are all enclosed. They have electric heating elements on them, as well as heat ducted in them from the furnace. And you can also use the wood burning stove to keep those warm. So anyways, I think that was a pretty good overview. If you have questions or anything, let me know and I can walk through you a little closer, more in detail, or you can check out some of the other videos. So anyways, let's get inside. All right, guys, let's go ahead, climb up in here, show you what this thing has to offer. As I mentioned in the introduction of this one's set up to be lived in full time. The way that this gentleman spec'd this camp out, it has everything he needs. So we're gonna go through, kind of show you what's going on. As you can see right off the bat, those of you that have watched the channel for a while, this is a different layout. All unique, all custom built. But we'll go through real quick. I'll run through the colors like we do in each of the camps, and then I'll go through and explain everything. So what we have is an Asian sand is the color of the walls in this one. The cabinetry is Nepal teak. The flooring is Salsalita Sunrise. And then the countertops are an Italian white di pesco. So that runs through the colors. Also, as I mentioned, this is an X30. So this is a 24-foot box, so 24-foot living space. It's an 8-foot wide interior, 102 inches exterior. Your height in this one, you're just over 7.5 feet tall. So for you taller guys, gals, should be perfect for you. I haven't met anyone that's quite that tall. There's probably someone out there, but anyways, yeah, very spacious. For a lot of the response we get when we have customers come and visit, they're expecting these to be a lot more compact, you know, where we don't do slides and different things like that. They think that they're going to be lacking for space. I can promise you, no one has ever felt that way when they've come and visited us and have walked through these. So let's start up here at the front. As you can see, and I've had a lot of questions on the washer and dryers. This is a washer dryer combo, so it's set up that way. Very efficient, doesn't use a lot of water. So depending on whether you're boondocking or you're plugged into shore power, which you can do all of those things. This one is not set up for an inverter, so they are limited on this one to being plugged in either to their generator or shore power, just because this is an AC powered appliance. So up here in the front, you have a big hanging closet. And as you'll see in this one, lots of space for storing clothes and different things that way. The cabinetry is all an alder, knotty alder. And then, as I mentioned, this one is finished in a Nepal teak finish. All soft close hinges. So yeah, as I mentioned, all hardwood. So everything's hardwood in here. We don't do anything like the RV industry that's just paper wrapped, particle board, any of that. So soft close hinges, all dovetail drawers. And these do have the catching drawer slides on them. So as they slide in, they will latch, which keeps everything from falling out as you're traveling down the road. On these bigger doors or drawers, we do the thumb latches so that you can latch them as well. So even though they do have the same drawer slides on them, you can get a lot of weight in those, and I don't want you to have any issues with them coming out. So we put thumb latches on them. In this one, you just have more hanging space. You've got your valves. This one does have a light in it as well. Stainless steel fridge freezer combo. This one's elevated up off the floor. The furnace has been placed below this one, which is a good use of space. Keeps that up off the ground to where you don't have to bend clear down to get to the bottom of the fridge. Now, I do like that because I don't like to drop down to the bottom to get everything. So being able to elevate that is really nice. Now, if those of you that are planning out your camps and everything are considering this, one thing that you need to consider is if you want the built-in microwave, we can't raise it up because of the arch of the roof. So this one's set up to where he can still have a microwave in this. It's wired, there's an outlet here. So he can put a microwave in it, but we can't do the built-in one because of the depth of it. So if that's something that you're considering, yeah, that's something to think about. But it seems like the majority of the camps that we're building right now, they're all elevating their fridge and doing the furnace below it, which, like I say, I think it's a great use of space. You still can do the microwave, you just can't do the built-in one. So freezer's good size. This is a two-way fridge, so it'll run off AC or propane, or you can set it on auto. So like right now it's set on auto to where it's going to search for electricity first. If it can't find electricity, it'll switch over to propane. This one where we're plugged in, it's going to find that electric and it's going to use that. So I usually always leave mine on auto. That way if I'm plugged in at the house, prepping to go somewhere, I can fill it full, get that fridge cold. As soon as I unplug, it's automatically going to switch to propane. And as long as I've got those propane tanks on, we should be good. So I like to do it that way. The only time that I recommend that people don't run it on auto is if they do have an inverter in their trailer, or you're going to pay a crazy amount of money for power at campgrounds or anything. Then in that case, I would probably strictly run it on propane. So you've got your monitoring panel here. So this will run through all of your tank levels. So it'll give you your fresh water level, gray water, black tank. If you do multiple tanks, it'll give you all of that information, battery voltage, and then it'll just run through all of those things every well, you can program it to whatever you want. So default setting, I believe, is every 5 to 10 minutes. I can't remember, but it'll run through all of that. But yeah, you can program it with alarms to where it'll tell you, hey, tanks are getting low, tanks are getting full, batteries are getting low, all of that kind of stuff. You can do that with that, which is really nice, especially when you are boondocking, when you're off grid, any of those things, because part of that process is just being able to conserve. So conserve battery, conserve water, all of those different things. You got your water pump switch, your water heater, and then this has interior cabinet lights. So if I turn this switch on, all of my interior cabinets have lights in there, which is a nice feature, you know, as you're getting gear and stuff, especially if it's dark outside, to be able to turn them on and be able to see everything inside of those. I really like these. I wish all trailers had them, because if I ever have to work on anything, I like to be able to see. So that is kind of nice that way. Has your recirculation fan. What this is for those colder months. So most trailers are getting spec'd out with furnaces in them, and they also have the wood burning stove. So I don't know many of our customers that aren't going to choose the wood stove over the furnace any day of the week. And so if you're doing that, the way that the tank enclosure is and the way that those heating tanks are heated is both by the furnace, and then there's also these electric heating elements on those tanks. So you have multiple sources to heat those tanks to keep them from freezing in the winter. But my preferred method is to use the wood stove. And a lot of that is, I like the heat from the wood stove, I like the comfort, I like the sight, the sounds, I like everything about it. It's the best feature, in my opinion, in one of these camps. The downside to the wood stove is if I'm using the wood stove, my furnace is going to be satisfied. That thermostat's going to be satisfied, and so I'm not going to circulate that warm air into the tanks. So that is what this recirculation fan does, is I can turn that on, and I don't know if you can hear that or not in the video, but a fan comes on and it circulates. It actually pulls air, so it is going to pull air from inside the trailer. So this sits right across from the wood stove. It's going to pull that hot air from that wood stove, and it's going to circulate it throughout the camp and also into that tank enclosure. So that's going to keep them tanks from freezing, and you can still use the wood stove and not have to worry about the furnace. Now, that being said, I still like to set my thermostat on my furnace. I still like to turn it on, and I like to set my thermostat about the middle. That way, if I do leave, you know, I'm out, whatever I'm doing, working, playing, any of those things, and it happens to get really cold and nobody's here to build a fire or anything, that furnace is going to kick on. It's going to keep it relatively warm in here until I get back, can build a fire. Now, the cool thing, if those of you that haven't watched the channel much, we do have a video that does a little comparison between one of these and just an average travel trailer on propane use. And I'm just going to jump right to it and tell you the results of that. Most of the people that live in their trailers around here while they build homes or whatever, they are coming and filling up their propane tanks usually twice a week. Those are 7-gallon, 30-pound propane tanks. They're coming twice a week to fill those up. Those individuals that have camps that are living in them around here in the winter, if I see them once a month, usually every 5 to 6 weeks is when I see them come to fill up propane tanks. Now, a lot of that is, I mean, granted, they're probably using the wood stove the majority of the time. And then, like I say, probably setting their thermostat or whatever to where they still can use the furnace. But even your appliances, so like your fridge, your water heater, your furnace, all of those appliances are just going to be so much more efficient in one of our camps because of the way that they're built and insulated. There's 6 inches of R19 in the floor. There's 6 inches of R19 in the ceiling. The walls are 2.5 inches thick with a 3/4 inch foam board, which I think equates to about an R9, something like that in the walls. And so those appliances really thrive because they're not constantly working to try and maintain a temperature. That insulation values and the way that they're installed, it just makes them more efficient so they don't run near as much. So like your furnace, I mean, those of you that have trailers and have used them in the colder months know that those furnaces run non-stop, draining your batteries, depleting your propane. We don't have that situation going on in here. And like I say, it's because those appliances are placed in environments where they can succeed. So you've got a drawer here, a lot of counter space to work with, some open storage below, and then they've got another row of drawers here below this cooktop. Now you can do these, the cooktops are kind of becoming popular. If you don't bake or do any of that stuff, then yeah, there's probably better uses of space than putting an oven there. So if that's something that you're interested in, like I say, they're all custom. We can do them however you want. So you've got your fuse panel with your breakers. This does have courtesy lights too along the floor. So, and I can show you, they're switched to where you can turn them on from the back, which is really nice when it's dark or whatever. If you need to get up, go to the bathroom, anything that way. Overhead storage. These are all on gas struts that will hold these open as well as keep them closed. Stainless steel range hood. This does vent to the outside, so it's got the fan, the LED light on it. And then this little area we left open because he is building a desk / entertainment center. Sounds to me like he'll probably be working a little bit out of this as he travels. He will be living in this full time. So it's set up to where he's got outlets on both sides. It's set up for Starlink for his internet stuff, as well as TV. He's got his TV hookups, antenna hookups, all of that stuff. He did provide his own chair. Wanted to make sure that that was in before we built it, which it fits through the door, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, that's what he'll be doing with this area, is doing a little desk entertainment center with a big TV and stuff. So as we work towards the back, you do have your thermostat for your furnace, and then you have this little step up. And as I showed you in the back, that kind of allows for some outside storage, but then there's some inside storage in here as well. So this has a little trap door storage where you have storage below there, and then tons and tons of storage as far as what he has here. So you can see we have 3 giant double door closets, and you've got hanging. They do have lights in them too. You have hanging in 2 of them. And then below them, we have some big drawers on both sides. So There's 3 drawers on this side and then another 3 below the bed on this side. As we come back towards the back, this one has some shelving in the back and then some open storage. And then a gun safe. Oh, I got it locked. And then he did, as you saw on the outside, not a lot of, at least not on this side of the camp, there's no windows, which is going to help a lot in retaining temperatures, maintaining that temperatures, because on these camps, that's probably your biggest loss of heat, is your windows. Now we do use a dual pane window that's going to help with some of that, but still, when you get a lot of windows and stuff, that's going to be your biggest loss of heat. So, but on the windows, he did the blind boxes, and they're engraved. We can do all sorts of different things on the engravings here. Here he's got a little cattle scene, pull down shades, got an egress window, and then he's got some USB charging ports, AC outlet. This is the switch for those courtesy lights. And then he had it do it too to where this top is removable, to where he has some storage, kind of some hidden storage in there. This is a twin XL mattress. So set up for a single person, but you can set them, like I say, they're custom, so we can set them up however you want. This does have the max air fan in it, which will bring air in or out. You can set different speeds. It has the rain sensor, will close if it starts to rain. All those neat little features. The rosewood trim. It does have the air conditioner too. This is a newer model that we've started using recently. This is the Furrion, and I really like it. It seems to be a pretty good little unit. So we have our reclining chair. These things will recline pretty much flat to where I think I could easily, well, I know I can sleep in them because I have before. So really nice. Comforts. Then you've got a little end table with some storage below, more AC outlets and USB ports. Then you have the wood burning stove. As I showed you on the exterior, you have some wood storage below, so that's accessible from the outside to where, like I say, you can keep your ash pan, your bucket, your kindling, paper, whatever you want to use. Now these are very efficient and they draw extremely well to where I don't use a lot of kindling. I mean, you can see the size of those logs that I put in there. That's really what I started with. They draw, you've got an extremely short flue to where they draw super well to where I don't use a lot of kindling. They start relatively easy. If you use the fire starters or anything, it's even easier. So you have a pull-out breadboard, cutting board in the kitchen or the prep area. And then all of your drawers on that side. Big, deep stainless steel sink. Nice window behind. This one's got the duct scene on it. And then some overhead storage. And then it has the pull-out pantries. So it's got the double pantries here, and you can do these in all sorts of different configurations. If you've got specific things that you're storing in here, we can set the shelving up, the rods, all of that stuff, however you want it. So you've got one up above, and then you have one below, and then some little storage up here on the top. So That brings us up to the front where we'll look at the bathroom. All of your switches. So these are all your interior lights. They are on dimmers. So you can dim them down. You can actually use that as an on-off switch if you wanted to. Your exterior porch light, it's also on a dimmer. If you do outside lights, we generally will put the switches in that stuff for them here. This is just access to the back side of the shower. So one thing that we always want to make sure that we are thoughtful about is if we ever have issues, we want to be able to get to them. So everything's accessible from electrical to plumbing to all of that stuff, to where if you ever did have issues, it's pretty dang simple. This one, a little bit different in the bathroom here. They've got the medicine cabinet up above, mirrored medicine cabinet. And then they've got kind of a linen closet back behind the toilet. No vanity in this one. They've turned the toilet the other direction, north and south. And then it's got the black shower frame. This is the 32 by 32 inch shower. Stainless steel hardware in it. Frosted bathroom window. This is an exhaust fan to where you can pull some of that moisture out, as these camps are sealed extremely tight. So, and where everything's wood, we like to keep, as much of that out as we can. This is an 1.5 inch solid door. It's got a piano hinge that runs the entire length to support that weight. Very sturdy. Nothing cheap about any of these things. We want these to last a lifetime. We want you to go enjoy, not have to worry about any of the things that you would with a lot of the other trailers. So anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this one. This one's kind of been a fun one to build. I like these unique ones. There's a lot of personality that goes into them. And so, as you see these videos and see some of the different things that we do, hopefully you can integrate some of those things into your own personal build and make it how you want it. So anyways, I'd love to hear what you think about this one. I try and respond back to the comments as best that I can. We're getting big enough now that that's getting a little more difficult, but if you have questions, you can comment. I'll try and answer as many as I can. A lot of you, I do get a lot of comments about price. Just to give you an idea, they're going to start, all of our camps are going to start at about $40,000. They're going to climb upwards. I've got one that's being built right now that I'm excited to show you. It's going to be pushing probably $120,000. That will be by far the most expensive one that we have built. So that'll kind of give you an idea. The majority of these X30s are going to be, most of them are going to fall from the high 60s to 90. So with the majority of them falling probably around 80. So anyways, that should answer one of those questions. But as always, I'd love to hear what you think. So like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and we'll catch you on the next one.